Section 1. Wrong fuel. Big problem, the diesel dilemma. It happens more often than you think. A motorcycle rider pulls up to the pump, absent-mindedly reaches for the wrong nozzle, and fills their tank with diesel instead of gasoline. This seemingly small mistake can lead to a cascade of issues that are both frustrating and costly. Imagine the scenario. You're in a rush, perhaps distracted by a phone call or simply lost in thought, and before you know it, you've made a choice that could spell disaster for your beloved bike. It's a simple mistake with potentially serious consequences for your motorcycle's engine. Diesel fuel is thicker and oilier than gasoline, and it doesn't evaporate as easily. This means that when diesel is introduced into a gasoline engine, it can clog up the fuel injectors, cause the engine to misfire, and even lead to complete engine failure if not addressed promptly. The repair costs can be astronomical, not to mention the inconvenience of being without your motorcycle for an extended period. This isn't just a matter of different smells or a slightly off color. Diesel and gasoline are different beasts altogether, and putting the former in a system designed for the latter can lead to a world of trouble. Diesel fuel has a higher energy density and burns differently than gasoline, which can cause significant damage to the engine's internal components. The pistons, cylinders, and fuel lines are all at risk when diesel is mistakenly used in a gasoline engine. In this essay, we'll dive into the science behind why diesel is disastrous for gasoline engines, explore the immediate and long-term effects of such a mishap, and arm you with the knowledge to prevent this from happening to you. We'll look at the chemical composition of both fuels, how they interact with engine components, and what happens when the wrong fuel is used. Additionally, we'll provide tips on what to do if you find yourself in this unfortunate situation, including steps to minimize damage and get your motorcycle back on the road as quickly as possible. So buckle up, fellow riders, and let's get into the nitty-gritty of the diesel disaster. Understanding the differences between diesel and gasoline and the potential consequences of using the wrong fuel is crucial for every motorcycle owner. By being informed and vigilant, you can avoid the costly and time-consuming repairs that come with this common mistake. Stay tuned as we unravel the complexities of the diesel dilemma and equip you with the knowledge to keep your motorcycle running smoothly. Section 2. Gasoline versus diesel. A tale of two fuels. In this chapter, we will delve into the fundamental differences between gasoline and diesel engines, exploring why each fuel type is suited to its specific engine design, and why mixing them can lead to catastrophic results. To understand why diesel is so detrimental to a gasoline engine, we need to understand how each fuel works. Both fuels have unique properties and combustion processes that make them suitable for different types of engines. Gasoline engines operate on the principle of spark ignition. This means that the fuel-air mixture inside the engine cylinder is ignited by a spark from the spark plug, which is a critical component in gasoline engines. A mixture of air and gasoline is drawn into the engine cylinder, compressed by the piston, and ignited by a spark plug. This precise timing and controlled explosion are what drive the engine's pistons and generate power. This explosion drives the piston down, creating power. The process is smooth and efficient, designed to maximize performance and fuel economy in gasoline engines. Diesel engines, on the other hand, rely on compression ignition. Unlike gasoline engines, diesel engines do not use spark plugs. Instead, they compress air to such a high degree that the temperature rises significantly. Air is compressed to a much higher degree, generating enough heat to ignite the diesel fuel when it's injected. This method of ignition is more efficient for diesel engines, allowing them to produce more torque and power, especially at lower RPMs. This difference in ignition methods is crucial. It highlights why diesel fuel in a gasoline engine, or vice versa, can cause severe damage. The engines are designed with specific fuel properties in mind, and using the wrong type can lead to improper combustion, engine knocking, and even complete engine failure. Section 3. Diesel in a gas tank. Immediate trouble. Imagine you're at a busy motorcycle maintenance and repair workshop, where every second counts. The last thing you want is an unexpected issue that could have been easily avoided. Diesel fuel has a different chemical composition and is denser than gasoline. This difference in composition means that diesel and gasoline are not interchangeable. When introduced into a gasoline engine, it doesn't mix well with the gasoline already present, leading to an uneven fuel-air mixture. This improper mixture can cause significant issues almost immediately. This can cause a range of immediate problems, from difficulty starting to rough idling and even engine stalling. The engine may struggle to turn over, and if it does start, it won't run smoothly. You might notice thick black smoke billowing from your exhaust, a clear sign that your engine is struggling to combust the diesel properly. This smoke is not just a visual nuisance, it indicates incomplete combustion, which can lead to further engine damage. If you realize you've put diesel in your gasoline tank, it's crucial to stop running the engine immediately. Continuing to run the engine can cause severe damage, potentially leading to costly repairs. The best course of action is to drain the tank and flush the fuel system as soon as possible. This will help to minimize any long-term damage and get your motorcycle back to optimal performance. Draining the tank involves removing all the contaminated fuel and thoroughly cleaning the fuel lines. This process ensures that no diesel remains in the system, preventing further complications. Once the system is clean, you can refill the tank with the correct fuel and get back on the road. By taking these immediate steps, you can avoid a lot of trouble and ensure your motorcycle runs smoothly. Always double-check the fuel type before filling up to prevent such issues in the future. Section 4. Long-term damage. The lingering effects of diesel. The immediate effects of a diesel misfuel are alarming enough, but the long-term damage can be even more severe. Diesel fuel doesn't evaporate as easily as gasoline. This means it can linger in your fuel system, clogging fuel lines, injectors, and even damaging the catalytic converter. The thicker consistency of diesel can also wreak havoc on your spark plugs, leading to misfires and reduced engine performance. In the worst-case scenario, prolonged exposure to diesel can cause irreparable damage to the engine, leading to costly repairs or even complete engine replacement. Section 5. Spill alert, what to do after a diesel mishap. So you've realized you've put diesel in your motorcycle's tank. Don't panic, but act fast. First and foremost, do not start your engine. If you have, turn it off immediately. Next, contact a professional mechanic or towing service. They will have the necessary equipment and expertise to safely drain the diesel fuel from your tank and fuel lines. It's crucial to resist the temptation to try and fix this yourself, as improper handling can worsen the situation. Section 6. Prevention is key. Avoiding the diesel disaster. The best way to deal with a diesel mishap is to prevent it from happening in the first place. One simple yet effective method is to develop a habit of double-checking the fuel pump and nozzle before you start fueling. Some motorcycles have smaller filler necks that are incompatible with diesel nozzles, providing a physical barrier against misfueling. Additionally, clearly label your motorcycle's fuel cap with a bright sticker stating gasoline only to serve as a visual reminder. Section 7. Real-world repercussions, stories from the garage. Over the years at Leno's garage, we've seen our fair share of automotive mishaps, and diesel in a gasoline engine is a recurring theme. We once had a classic motorcycle towed in after the owner mistakenly filled it with diesel. The engine was completely seized, requiring a complete rebuild. In another instance, a rider managed to catch the mistake early, but the lingering effects of the diesel still resulted in thousands of dollars in repairs. These stories highlight the importance of vigilance and swift action when it comes to diesel misfueling. Section 8. The cost of mistakes. Diesel's expensive lesson. The financial ramifications of putting diesel in your motorcycle can be substantial. Draining the fuel tank and flushing the fuel lines can cost a few $100s. Repairing or replacing damaged components like fuel injectors, spark plugs, and the catalytic converter can easily run into thousands of dollars. In extreme cases, a complete engine rebuild or replacement may be necessary, costing as much as a used motorcycle. These costs far outweigh the inconvenience of taking a few extra seconds to double-check the fuel pump. Section 9. Protecting your pride and joy. Fueling up right. Your motorcycle is an extension of yourself, a symbol of freedom and adventure. Protecting it from mishaps like diesel misfueling is essential to enjoying countless miles on the open road. By understanding the differences between gasoline and diesel engines, recognizing the signs of trouble and taking preventative measures, you can avoid the headache and heartache of a diesel disaster. Remember, a few seconds of caution at the pump can save you from days or even weeks of downtime and expensive repairs. Section 10. Ride safe, ride smart. Final thoughts on diesel disasters. In the world of motorcycles, knowledge is power. Understanding the potential consequences of putting diesel in your gasoline engine empowers you to make informed decisions at the pump. By staying vigilant, Practicing safe fueling habits and knowing what to do in case of a mishap, you can ensure that your rides are filled with the thrill of the open road, not the frustration of avoidable mistakes. Ride safe, ride smart, and keep the rubber side down. Section 11. A note from Leno's Garage. We hope this essay has shed light on the importance of using the right fuel for your motorcycle. At Leno's Garage, we're passionate about all things automotive, and we believe that knowledge is key to preserving and enjoying these incredible machines. If you have any questions or need further advice, don't hesitate to reach out to a trusted mechanic or automotive specialist. Happy riding!